If you have been sending job applications and you have not been getting any positive feedback, I want you to stop right there because I have so many things to tell you. First, I have a question. Where do you actually find these jobs? Where do you go to search for international remote jobs and how do you find them? Well, in this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly where to find international remote roles that will pay you in US dollars. I'll also show you some job posting platforms that most people don't know about, most Nigerians don't know about, but because you are following me, then you are going to be able to see these particular opportunities. Now, let's get into it. Hi, if you like this video, I'd like you to click on the subscription button and also turn on the notification bell so that you'll be able to receive notification whenever I make a new video like this. So let's get back to the video. So the first thing I want to say is this: LinkedIn and Indeed are not bad platforms. They're actually fine. The problem is that everyone knows about them, which means the competition is insane. Now, think about it this way. When a company posts a remote job, a remote role on LinkedIn, within the first 24 hours, they can get up to 300 applications. Some roles can get even 1,000. I've been in the hiring side. I've hired for different companies and I've made a job posting on LinkedIn before. So I know exactly how the system works. What hiring managers also do after that is just to scan. And if you are one of 1,000 persons that have applied for a particular job, doing the same exact thing that other persons have done, the same CV, the same way of application, and all of that, the chances of getting noticed is just genuinely very, very low. It's not that it's not possible, but it is very, very low. And here is something that most people don't even talk about. A lot of remote roles never even get posted publicly. Most of them get filled through referrals, through LinkedIn connections. Have you applied for a job posting where they ask you who referred you to this job, or do you know anybody in the company? Do you know any employee in the company? What's the person's name? If you have applied for such jobs before, you would understand what I'm saying. So sometimes it comes through people who are already visible to the company in some way before the role was even open. Now, what do I mean? The game is not just about applying, it's about being in the right places before the job shows up, which is completely a different approach from what most people are doing currently. All right, so let me start with the ones for full-time remote work because that's what a lot of persons are looking for. Number one is remote.co. The companies posting there tend to be more thoughtful about remote work, just like the other ones. Next is Remotive. Remotive is one that I recommend to people who feel overwhelmed by the job search because it simplifies the process in a way. All you have to do is set up an alert for your skills, your role type, and you just check your inbox regularly to see new relevant jobs that show up there every day. You don't have to spend up to 2 hours manually searching for a job in their platform. All you have to do is once you see a notification, you know that this job is something you can do, you apply for it. Now, for most people who do freelance and contract work, which I honestly think most people from Nigeria should start with because it's easier to get your first win faster. The first platform I'll call is Upwork. I understand and I know everyone has a complicated relationship with Upwork. I also did when I was starting, but the beginning is slow and can feel really demoralizing. But I have to tell you something honestly. The platform actually rewards people who can stay for a longer period. That's they are patient enough to apply for more jobs, but it is going to punish you if you are the type that want to quit after 2 weeks. Now, the next platform is Fiverr. Fiverr has a different energy altogether, but this time around, you're not chasing a client. You're just going to set up your shop for one time. That means set up your gigs so that these companies can come to you. Now, the key with Fiverr is your gig description. Is very important. The way you package and title your service determines everything at all. Now, two people with the same skill can completely have different results on Fiverr just based on how they presented themselves. The next platform is TopTap. Okay, this one is not for everyone. And to be very honest with you, they take the top 3% of applicants. And also, the vetting process is very, very intense and it takes a lot of time. But if you are serious about your crafts and you get through it, the caliber of work and rates you can charge are on a very different level entirely. I'll say apply even if you are not sure you are ready. The feedback alone from the process could be valuable. It can help you to understand where you are in your career. And then the next is Andela. If you have not heard of this one, you need to stop what you are doing and look it up today. It was built specifically to connect African tech professionals with global companies. They are literally looking for people like you. The application is selective, but the whole point of the platform is African talent, which is one of your main advantage, right? Now, let me show you some places most people have genuinely never thought to look at, which is one of the free tips, just because you are following my channel. Number one is Well Found. Well Found is used to be called Angel List. I call it a startup country. The companies here are smaller, they move faster. That's why they are called startups. And most of the time, they are very open to giving someone a real shot. So the competition is lower because most people are still on LinkedIn and Indeed looking for jobs. And startups tend to care more about what you can actually do than whether you went to school or how long your CV looks. Next is Nodex. Nodex is something I usually check almost every day because they handpick remote jobs from across all of the internet. They put all of them together. The listings on Nodex often does not exist in some other places, so it is less competitive by definition. Now, I'm not done yet. Before I move on, I need to say something, and I mean this sincerely, because you have to be very careful out there. In as much as I've listed all of these job postings, you might want to try some of them, or probably must have fallen to one of these job scams. Now, the remote job space has a very serious scam problem, and the scams look really real. Sometimes they have very professional websites. Even you as a developer, you see their website and you're like, I feel these guys are real. They might even have proper job descriptions, and sometimes they might even have a very fake interview process. Now, there are things you need to remember, but before I list out these three things that I have to remember before making any job posting to be sure that they are not scam. Let me tell you a story. Some time ago, I tried applying for a particular job, especially in Telegram. I wanted to apply for a job posting that was made in one of the Telegram channels I'm connected to. These Telegram channels, most Telegram channels are fake. So when I clicked on the link, I tried to apply, I applied, and then I got a message. They sent me a message on Telegram as well, where they asked me to come in that I was a good fit for their job posting, that there were so many applicants, and then they wanted to have me in to join them in their team as a developer. I asked for the job posting, I couldn't find it, but they later sent me a screenshot of the job posting. When I looked at it, I found out that okay, the payment for that particular job posting is quite high, $5,000 for a front-end development role. It's not too much, but to some extent you would want to question it, especially because it's a Web3 space, right? Now, after this application, they set up an interview for me and said that I was going to have an interview the next day, and I was required to download a software. Well, how did I know it was scam? They started sending me the company's information and details about the company's registration number and all of that, just so that I don't think them as scam. But one thing I learned was they wanted me to download the software. So they said the software I would download was going to be the software that will be needed for the interview. That means that on that software is where we're going to be having our video calls. But I found out that when I download the software, it is going to get into my accounts. It will find if I have any crypto accounts connected to my PC and then try to drain it. The software is a wallet drainer. Go and learn more about wallet drainer. You can check it up on YouTube. So you need to be very careful when checking out for job postings and when applying for any job postings. So here are three things you need to check before making any application. Number one, if they ask you for money at any point, it is a scam. Run for your life. There's no real employer that is going to ask you to pay anything before you start working. There's no employer that will ask you to pay for training fees or ask you to pay for equipment deposits. Nothing at all. Just walk away. Now, number two, if the whole interview process happens only on WhatsApp or it happens only on Telegram with no proper video call, it's very suspicious. Real companies are going to use Zoom or Google Meet. If they really want to see your face, you can ask them to schedule on Google Meet or on Zoom. This way, you can get their Google email address, confirm to see if it is also coming from their website domain to be sure that they are real or not, and so many other things that you can verify. Always go through your conviction anyway, and always check that the company actually exists before you even go deep into any application. Google them. You need to find them on LinkedIn. Find real employees. If you cannot verify if the company is real or not in 5 minutes of searching, it's probably not real. Number three, which is what I said based on my story, you need to ensure that you don't download any software for interview sessions. It is a scam. All right, so you now have a lot of platforms to look at. And I know that it can feel really overwhelming. So let me simplify it a little bit. Don't try to be on all of the platforms that I've listed. You need to pick 2 or 3 platforms, and then you need to ensure that those platforms match what you are specifically looking for. Once you find those platforms, you need to set up alerts so that those job postings can come to you. You will be able to see them when they come in, anytime that they have been posted. So once you set up those job alerts, next thing I want you to learn again is always use the overdo strategy. If you don't know about the overdo strategy, check the video that I've added on the description. So the overdo strategy is going to show you exactly how you are going to apply for these jobs. Now I've told you where to find the jobs. To get to know how you can apply for these jobs, go through the video on the description. Finally, take your time and apply for jobs. Do not rush any job posting. Give yourself 30 minutes. If I say 30 minutes, if you do not understand what I mean by 30 minutes, you go and check that video. So at least 30 minutes is enough for you to go through a particular job posting. You do all of your research before you apply for that job posting so that you will be the best fit. Now, if you learn something new, I want you to drop in the comment section which of the platforms you think you're going to start applying first. And also, If you have used any of this platform, give me your honest review on the comment section. Let's discuss what you learned about the platform. If you've used any platform that worked for you, there are so many persons in the comment section that will be very happy with your comments, and you want to give them advice on how to use the platforms you've used. I'm the Flames in Tech. See you in the next one.